welcome back, and thank you to all my new subscribers. I really, really appreciate you. I really do. Let me hit this. My Uncomfy Truths is coming up. Oh, okay, but I'm gonna get started anyway. So tonight's topic is this, and it's serious. Missing and exploited children. We have some sick people in this world. There are over 325,000 missing migrant children. Trump has found 10,000 of these children. Most of them have been human trafficked, abused. Um, it's really sad. And me being a victim of that, I don't have no sympathy. Whatever happened to you when you get locked up, that's what need to happen as far as I'm concerned. You know, so yeah, I don't have no sympathy, none whatsoever. And so I was going through, like looking at um the FBI has a place where you can find children and like you can put their names. There's a lot of websites out here that can help you. We got Michigan exploited children, California. Every state has this, but right now we focusing on the missing and exploited children, especially these migrants. But we got national, like I think it's 34 black children that came up missing in all this month in August. 34. A couple of years ago, we had 164,000 missing black girls. Hold on, let me see if I can bring that up. We ain't never heard nothing about that. Right now, the number is 64,000 missing black women and girls in the United States. 64,000. And then there's a site, and this is the U.S. Department of Justice shining a light. They had on their website, this is from November 2024. The United States faces a deeply troubling crisis that has not received the attention it deserves. The alarming number of missing or murdered black women and girls. Despite the devastating impacts on families and communities throughout the country, the epidemic of missing or murdered black women and girls has largely remained a silent one. We don't love each other no way. It is time to confront this issue with urgency and coordinated response it warrants. The Department of Justice Office of Justice Programs held a national convene in Washington, D.C., focused on addressing the crisis of missing or murdered black women and girls. The event brought together family members, survivors, state leaders, along with federal agency colleagues to raise awareness of the issue and encourage a more robust response to missing and murdered black women and girls. Black women and girls are disproportionately affected by violence, trafficking, systematic neglect, leading to high rates of disappearance and place them at greater risk for homicide. The other day in Detroit, there was a 15-year-old girl walking, which is off Oakman Court between Linwood and Davis, Linwood and Dexter. Four guys in a car snatched her off the street, and her shoes were left in the middle of the street. And it came out that her family was looking for her. I don't know if they found her or not, but this happened here in Detroit the other day. Although they make up a significant portion of missing person cases in the U.S., their stories often go underreported and unnoticed by national media and law enforcement. According to National Crime Information Center in 2022, mm, let me tell him. 271,493 girls and women reported missing. 97,000 or over 26% were black, despite the fact that black women and girls comprise 14% of the U.S. female population. In addition, according to the study, black women are 6 times more likely to be murdered than their white peers. The stark and tragic statistics reveal and underscore systematic issue of bias, neglect, lack of resources that hinder effective responses to the crisis. Too often, black women and girls do not receive the same level of attention as those involving white victims. Missing black women and girls rarely make the evening news or become a household name in national coverage. News organizations can play a pivotal role in combating the imbalance, building on leadership of many black journalists who have advocated to tell the stories of missing and murdered black women, black people through their news organizations. Several states have initiated programs that could serve as models for broader approaches throughout the nation. For instance, some state governments and law enforcement agencies have established dedicated task force or units focused on addressing missing women and girls of color. While state and local initiatives are commendable, a nationwide epidemic calls for a national response. A robust federal strategy could include enhanced resources for development of law enforcement training, community outreach, and awareness campaigns, support for the victims. I'm gonna come back to that, and we're gonna get into some videos, then I'm gonna come back to that part. Okay, so now we're dealing with migrant children as well. Good Friday evening and welcome. We begin tonight with that joint investigation by uh-oh. Public integrity. It involves thousands of migrant children who might have disappeared from the system altogether. It is a troubling finding when you consider record numbers of migrants continue to pour across the U.S.-Mexico border. Many are children and many of them are alone. The Biden administration puts them in homes with sponsors, but then what happens next? Our investigation found thousands of those children are now disappearing from those sponsor homes. Our Scripps News investigative correspondent Patrick Terpstra joins us tonight. And Patrick, there are also concerns the federal government isn't doing enough to track them down. That's right, Dylan. To really zero in on this, we picked wait, hold on, y'all. Hey, I'm live. Come on there. I'm talking about missing and exploited children. Just come and sit. You ain't got to come up and waiting on my cousin. Uh,
Guatemalan population and a lot of sponsors who have taken in migrant children, only to see so many of them disappear. These are the faces of migrant runaways. Children who came across the southern border alone were placed by the U.S. government with an adult sponsor and then vanished. Kids like 15-year-old Yenny, who was last spotted with a black backpack getting into a white pickup truck. No one will say where she went. Selena was just 16 when she ran away from her sponsor's home weeks ago. Cesar, also 16, left his uncle's home one day and never returned. Each of these children disappeared from the small town of Culpeper, Virginia, about a 2-hour drive from Washington, D.C.
These are all my missing kids, right here.
These files are pretty thick. It's Culpeper Police Detective Norma McGuckin's job to try to find them. And she says her cases all seem to unfold the same way.
The sponsor will take him in, or her, and then within 30 days tops, a couple days sometimes, and then the child just picks up and leaves.
You called this a crisis?
We had 21 missing still on
That's a crisis.
On a small town, very small town.
And so it was found that in that marijuana, in that marijuana plant that was busted in California, there was child predators working on there, and they were migrant illegal children working on that farm too. The Biden-Harris administration, they created a hotline and gave these children's numbers to call if they felt unsafe. That hotline received 65,000 calls, and not one person returned the call. One boy called so many times and said that at night men were coming in his room touching him. What the fuck? Nobody called. So after they give these children to the sponsors, they make one call, and if they don't answer, that's it. God gonna bring this country down. But so far, like I said, Trump has found 10,000 of these children so far, and I just gave the statistics on, and I'm gonna go back into that in a minute.
Every chance she gets, McGuckin drives through these neighborhood streets looking for any sign of the missing kids. Pretty much all these neighborhoods, you can point to a house where an unaccompanied minor has run away.
Yes, on this side back here.
Since she became a detective here
And why they running away? Abuse, SA abuse, slave labor. They running away for a reason, or are they? And a lot of these children are no longer alive. Oh my God, you can't make this up. Oh my God, I'm not gonna be able. I should have let that video play. All this time it took me to go all the way back there, so I'm just gonna have to go recent. Let me go recent. I'm gonna have to go backwards. Okay, I'm gonna use this phone. Hold on. I can't believe this. All the time. All the time. Yep, I'm just gonna have to do new stuff. Can't make this up all the time because it's gonna take me forever to get. Damn. I need a better way to coordinate this shit. I do. This don't make no sense. But as I was stating, it's an epidemic we have. And then the feds done arrested gang members in California, the Hoovers and PK4 for trafficking minors because they get the most money. And one lady, and I'm going to talk about that separate, Lady Luck. It's her name. And they actually putting them on Figaro. One girl came back the next day with $1,500. But what? Who are they? They don't mess with black men. So these little Mexican dudes and other, who picking them up, they need to pay. Y'all gonna pay for this. And they get them, and some of them are gorilla pimping, just snatching them off the streets, putting them out there. Oh, come on. Come on, stupid phone. You can't make this up, I swear to God. Oh, shoot, this took me back to March. Okay, so now I'm going to use this phone. Let me see if this moves. Come on now. I think I figured it out. Oh my God. Okay, so we're going to do it this way. Lord, I done hit the wrong button. Let me see. What date is this? It don't make no sense. Give me a minute. Just give me a minute. All right, so this how we gonna do that. Give me a minute. What's that? August 8th. As usual, my stuff disappear. It ain't nothing new, but I got a plan. I just gotta find it since everything with the show keep going. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that like button. It really helps out and keeps me in the algorithm. That like button, I don't understand. When I go on people's channels, first thing I do is hit the like button. Okay, I'm gonna go breaking. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This is
Massive
recent.
statewide human trafficking and sex offender bust in Mississippi that net 72 arrests. More than 24 victims were rescued in Operation Guardian Force. The Mississippi Attorney General saying some 400 law enforcement officers took part in this 2-week mission. Our Natalie Williamson has your late reporting tonight. And Natalie, you spoke with someone who was there to see what happened.
Yeah, I did, Lenise. Catherine Bizu, who is a human trafficking advocate with the Gulf Coast Center for Nonviolence, was there to provide 29 victims with the help they need. Tonight, sex offender and human trafficking of 72 people, according to the Mississippi Attorney General, Lynn Fitch. During Operation Guardian Force, law enforcement officers were able to rescue 29 human trafficking victims in this 2-week investigation, which went from July 14th to July 29th. Kathy's human trafficking advocate with the Gulf Coast Center for Nonviolence says they were there to offer open arms to the victims.
The operation had many folds to it. There was a drug sting and there was a human trafficking sting, which we were a part of. We were invited by the Attorney General. We did 2 days with the law enforcement. And when they brought in victims, we were there to be able to give them resources. They were able to seek medical attention if they wanted it. They were offered shelter if they for them.
14,500 to 17,500 domestic victims trafficked every day. The Mississippi Attorney General says several agencies were part of this operation, including sheriff's departments from Jackson, Harrison, and Stone counties, as well as police from Bay St. Louis and Biloxi. Bizu tells me the victims varied in age, showing anyone can be trafficked.
Not a lot of people understand what human trafficking is, or they may not realize that they have been human trafficked. So it takes a little bit of kindness and patience when you're dealing with victims, because sometimes they may not be ready to accept their situation, or they might be scared because, abusers have control over them.
And we are working to gather more information on this, like who the 72 suspects are. Bizu says if you think you are in a similar situation, there is help. Lenise.
Man, this is just a shame. Oh, I'm doing the recent stuff. And go to A16. Oh no, A12.
So, 34 black girls in Washington, D.C. Guess I'm going to have to use that good old white privilege today because the story's not getting out. And they give black creators like 75% less looks than they do us creators. 3 days ago, 34 black girls disappeared, vanished, abducted overnight. And the media is not covering it. I've seen videos from distraught parents. I've seen videos from activists in the community. I've seen posters. Nobody's talking about this. I mean, there are people talking about it, but it's not getting out there. Somehow in one night, 34 black girls were abducted and are missing, and the media is not covering it at all. I searched the story, what it showed me? whole bunch of little white girls missing,
Right.
like ones and twos and stuff. But 34 black girls disappeared overnight, and nobody knows why or where they are, and nobody's investigating. This is crazy. Get the word out, guys.
And I remember when I went to go see Dick Gregory, and at that time, when he died in like 2017 or six, at that time it was 64,000 missing black girls. Now let me get back to this art. Oh shit, it's on this phone. I'm working. Since I lost all my information, I just got to ad lib. Oh, let me see. I know I do want to get. Damn. Okay, let me get back to this. For far too long, we have allowed systematic and societal failures to disproportionately impact Black communities, leaving them particularly vulnerable to violence and abuse. Law enforcement that is too often unresponsive when Black women say they are victims or when Black families report their loved ones as missing, schools that punish the little Black girl who is acting out in class instead of recognizing her unspoken cries for help, child welfare agencies that too often break apart Black families and funnel Black children into the foster care system, because CPS is a big racket, and that is another racket to take people's kids and sex traffic, or human traffic these children. CPS is big on that. Um, Child welfare agencies that too often break apart Black families and funnel Black children into the foster care system, and a society that both consciously and unconsciously sexualizes and adultifies Black girls, refusing to see them as innocent and worthy of protection. That is a fact. We can address and remedy these failures so that the next Black girl who needs help, the next Black woman who faces violence, is seen, heard, believed, and protected. That breaks my heart. Oh, let me go to this article since I had. Oh, that's TD Jakes. We ain't talking about you today. We're not talking about. Trump administration directs ICE to track down unaccompanied minors. President Donald Trump administration is directing immigration agents to track down unaccompanied migrant children in the U.S., a source said. An internal document from Immigration and Customs said unaccompanied alien children joint initiative. Oh, okay, there go the link. Come on up. There go the link right there. Children Initiative Field Implementation said the initiative claims to prevent children from being human trafficked or other types of exploitation. 600. Let that sink in. We're about to add you to the stage.
Hey,
Hey, how you doing? Do you
Good, Miss
know
Dunn.
I did that? A conservative, but we're talking about missing and exploited children. I ran down some statistics about missing black children. Right now, there were 34 missing black children that happened in August in Washington, D.C.
Mm.
There's like 64,000 and how we treat it as nothing. And then I'm just going over some statistics and I just want to finish this article real quick.
Okay.
Um, let me see. There are more than 600,000 migrant children who cross the US Mexico border without a legal guardian or parent since 2019. California family leads the US. I'm sure they lead in human trafficking too. The initiative, according to a source familiar, claims to ensure migrant children are not victims of human trafficking or victims of other forms of exploitation. Conservative brother, I also stated that under the Biden Harris administration, they had a hotline for teenagers and children to call if they felt unsafe with their sponsors. That hotline received 65,000 calls. They did not call back one person, not one. And there was a boy that called so many times and said he felt unsafe because men was coming in his room at night touching him. That's a damn shame.
Damn. And this was just a report from DC like this week or what?
No, I think this report came out because I've been collecting information for shoot since last year, and I was showing the videos, then my phone flipped out, so I had to improvise and do it. But I have everything written down, so I'm trying to get back to that. But it's a report. You can look that up. You can look that up. That's a fact that came out when Congress called and subpoenaed under the previous administration when they did the research. But let me get back to this article. The initiative, according to a source familiar, claims to ensure migrant children are not victims of human trafficking or victims of form of exploitation. The plan, which lays out four phases of implementation, said minors would be served a notice to appear in immigration court or deported if deportation orders were pending against them. ICE collected data on unaccounted. You know what? You got some noise in your background.
Oh, sorry about
ICE
that. Somebody
collect,
put that.
ICE collected data on unaccompanied minors and sorted them into three groups: flight risks, minors, including those who have received orders of deportation for missing court hearings. The source of the internal document said. The move from Trump administration comes as Republicans claimed last year that the Biden administration lost 300,000 migrant children. It's actually 325, a figure experts and advocates says lack context. Now, when ICE busted that pot farm in California, they found migrant children slave labor, and there were predators on that marijuana farm as well. You can look that up. That's a fact. The claims come from a DHS internal watchdog report last year that found that ICE had not served notices to appear to more than 290,000 unaccompanied migrant children. The internal watchdog warned that in the past 5 years, more than 32,000 unaccompanied migrant children failed to appear for their immigration court hearings, and ICE was not able to account for their locations. Okay, hold on. Let me see. I think. Oh, the unique needs of these children. You can stop me anytime you have something to say. The unique needs of children require the administration to ensure a level of care that takes into account their vulnerability while it determines whether they need long term protection in the United States. Wendy Young said. To be successful in its goals, the government must partner with legal service providers, the vast network of private sector pro bono partners who provide millions of dollars in free legal service to ensure children understand the process and can share their reasons for seeking safety in the United States. Then the government can decide with confidence who needs protection and who can be safely returned to their home or organ. I just,
Man, like where to start? Like Sound of Freedom, the cartel running through the border. I mean, the U.S. is like the highest rate of human women trafficking,
it
and
is.
we're still kind of left in limbo with the Epstein files. You know, even though we obviously want to get to the list, we want to get to the elites that they're hiding. But you know, obviously, there's some child trafficking that went on with that. So I'm just kind of in awe because I feel like we kind of talk about it. We've been screaming on the rooftop about it, but you just kind of see more of the same. You know, I don't know what to do, and
Well,
so it's kind of
you
hopeless
know,
sometimes. You know.
right, but something got to happen. I mean, but he has recovered about 10,000 children so far.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been 10,000, and I just showed a video of a bus where they got 92, and one bus they got 200. That was recent.
Mm, could be.
I mean, no, I seen it because I try to keep abreast of this stuff, you know. I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to bring up this. I hate when I lose my videos. But yeah, but Sound of Freedom, that was awful. And do you know that Donald Trump helped finance the Sound of Freedom? I was gonna play the video where the man who produced it and the
Mm-hmm.
director, he met with Trump privately. I got the video, and he said he showed it to Trump at his home, and he brought people together, and they helped finance that movie.
Mm.
And this was doing his thing for Latinos for Trump. I
I did
got
not
the
know
video.
that. I did not know that.
And right, and they want to say that man is not a pedophile. During his first administration, how many children he found? He like young women, but that man is not a pedophile.
And that ain't illegal. Last time I checked, everybody
Right,
you can have a type, you can have a taste. You know what I mean?
right,
Just saying.
right. Let me see if I can find this video. And then they busted the gang, the Hoovers in LA, Lady Luck, and these cohorts who were like gorilla pimps. They had 14, 15 out there on Figaro. And they said they get them because they make the most money. And I'm like, well, you get them, you need to start arresting. I mean, when they do the stings, they do arrest the child predators, but you need to do more.
All right, where to start? This is a subject that you can just get go so many different ways. So, are you just looking up the latest of missing exploited children, or what are you looking at?
Well, I mean, I had it all set and I lost the information. So while you talking, I'm looking for it so I can play another video. But now I'm going current.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and look at this bill. Look at this bill, Newsom. This is how sick these elites are. Look at this bill. Now, this would be a good topic too. It's
Is this conspiracy theory or is this reality? What I'm about to tell you is going to shock you because I fact checked this according to AI. It's a meat market bill. It is a trafficking bill. It is unbelievable. So much so, don't believe me. Go to realimpact.us. It allows an individual to obtain this new form that comes with the bill. They fill it out, and they can name a child. John goes to a school in California and says, I have this form and I am asking for Susie Q to be received into my custody. I want to take her out of school. The bill does not require a background check for this man.
Yep. Heard about
Requires
this.
no identification, no driver's license, no nothing. There's no requirement in the bill for the school to call you to ask you if it's okay if John takes your daughter out of school. If this bill passes, I am going to ask you to leave the state of California.
Man,
You're
where's
gonna need
where's
to
the?
pack up and you're get out. You
I heard
gotta get
about
out.
this.
You gotta run. You gotta go. Hey, Gronk, I'm going to ask you some questions about AB 495.
Yeah.
It's
So
AB
as
495.
A yes or a no
what?
answer.
Now I
AB
remember I
495.
saw
Let me
Pastor.
stop it.
Yeah, I saw Pastor Jack Hibbs when I was in California. So definitely powerful, really beautiful church out there, Calvary Church. I forgot out there in the Inland Empire and whatnot. But yeah, he's been fighting. He's kind of took off, picked up where I guess John MacArthur left off. R.I.P. Pastor John MacArthur. But it's just really
Hmm.
scary. And I think it's still what they got sent into the House and they got kicked back, or what's the bill status update on that?
Right. Well, they still trying to pass it. It has not passed yet. I think it's going out to the voters. Oh, shit.
Uh,
That's what I think is going out to the voters. It has not passed.
uh,
That is really scary. You don't need no ID because there's some videos I was going to show of people who have been driving ice cream trucks and abducting children as well.
well, that's been happening for yeah. I mean, that's been happening forever, but yeah, still
Right.
not good.
It has, but we just this is what the topic is.
All right, what else you got?
Well, I normally stick on one time. We got 15 minutes, so I only stay on one.
We're gonna get booted off in 15.
Because I'm gonna start in something else. Start a new life. Because people attention span don't last that long. You ain't gonna get them for an hour.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I limit my stuff to an hour, and then my next. I just hate that I lost all my stuff, but it happens all the time. I need to find a better way of storing my information. I really do. Uh, Hold on, I got one more right here. And then I also was gonna bring up Hillary Clinton when her head of staff was bringing those 50 children from Haiti and got stopped because that's she another one. And then if you want to hit like Pizzagate, when she when Julian Assange released her emails when she deleted those 33,000 emails. One was like she looking for a black walnut, which is a black girl to sacrifice to Moloch. She is a witch.
Wait, who we
And
talking about?
Hillary Clinton.
Oh yeah, for sure. She the biggest one. She's
She
the
is.
fairest of them all. Evil, wicked. She's all that stuff. Yeah, I could probably stay on. I probably can't hop on the next live, but I could stay on. You said till you're gonna wrap it up at an hour.
Yeah, well, we got about 15. I might wrap it up now because I'm trying to find this other video. I'm on it now.
I think I guess speaking on my heart, like it's kind of sad just how mind numbing people have gotten to like the missing children. You know, we all go into different stores and stuff once in a while. We'll see like I think the other day I was at a gas station. Yeah, I'm West Bloomfield, and like man, I saw the gas station of like a missing child, and it said like it's one of those things where it's like maybe like a box of like a little box of candy. You know, weirdly
Mhm.
enough, it's like a box of candy on the desk, like next to the register, and then they'll say like missing child, so and so since like 2008. I'm like 2008.
Wow.
That kid's either long gone
Wow.
and somewhere, you know. So it's just kind of sad how kind of numb people have gotten to that, and it's like a few pennies in there and like some suckers and candy. I don't really quite understand, just donate just a little bit, you know.
Do
But
they still have the missing children on the milk carts?
I haven't even seen that in my lifetime. I feel like that's something they did. They stopped
You
doing
didn't
years.
see that? Oh, well, they
I
used to
never
have it
saw
on.
that.
Really? Yeah, on the milk carts, they used to put every time you went and bought milk, they would have a picture of a child missing from such
Yeah,
and
that was like some 80s, 70s stuff. Because even growing up in the 90s, even though we bought those plastic gallons most of the time, even when we got the cartons, I never saw that. I feel like they kind of phased that out.
really.
But I would see it like on the wall. You go to Kroger's or Myers, or I, I still I would see them on the wall growing up. I never saw one on a box. You know, but like I said, I think it's just a very it's just very disturbing how whether it's CPS, whether it's the cartel, whether it's these underground networks with these politicians and elites, they all have interties that comes back to these children. And I don't know whether they drinking their blood and the adrenochrome and all that. I
Some of
mean,
that, some of it is
yeah,
that.
I'm at the point where I believe it when I see it, but I'm not opposed to believing all that's true. Because there's been a lot of evidence to say so. But and I think even there was that report a while back. I think of like on Steve Harvey show or Oprah, they had like this cream that was made of fetal cells. And that whole abortion industrial industry and how they make claims like, oh no, we're not profiteering off of baby parts, and yet there's skin cream to use baby fecal not fecal fetal
Right.
matter,
Right.
and it's just a known kept secret, I'm sure, in Hollywood. Just
Yeah, but
how
when
it's just
you
child sacrifice. It's not only child sacrifice from a ritual standpoint, but it's basically also the just the biological uh child sacrifice where they can use it for biological benefits for themselves, not just ritualistic, but they use it biologically for extending their age, extending their youth. It's just very sick. It's very sick.
it is, and when you are a Satanist, they perform those rituals.
Hmm.
When you worship the Luciferian doctrine, rituals are a part of that. And I got some disturbing stuff that I wanted to say out of Britain where I was gonna show that, but anyway. But this little girls are talking about how their parents, what they made them do as kids, who and how and how they brought children in and sacrificed them. And these are kids telling the story to the
Yeah.
police, to a psychologist, and to the police at that time. And remember, I don't know if you remember that old story where out of the Queen's, this was during when the Queen was alive, how they found a naked boy jumping out of the castle, out of the window.
Oh
Do
my
you
god.
remember that?
I don't
And
remember
we
hearing.
and we know A- Prince Andrew was very, very close to Epstein, and
Hmm.
he definitely, and that's why the Queen stripped him of all his royal duties. Everybody know he like he allegedly like little girls, but that's
Right.
out there everywhere. He likes little girls, you know, and that's just what it is. But we can end this right here. I did get 50 minutes, and it was. Oh, you know what? No, I want to end this with this,
Okay.
and I'm talking about us. The alarming number of missing or murdered Black women and girls, despite the devastating impacts on families and communities throughout the country, the epidemic of missing or murdered Black women and girls has remained a silent one. It is time to confront this issue with urgency and coordinated response, it warns. So,
Damn.
Black women and girls are disproportionately affected by violence, trafficking, and systematic neglect, leading to high rates of their disappearance and placing them at a greater risk for homicide. Although they make up a significant portion of missing person cases in the U.S., their stories often go underreported and unnoticed by the national media.
And you know what? I think another factor. I'm not saying it's the only factor, but I think another big contributor to that, just being honest, is feminism. And I think
Mhm.
feminism at its core, not only did it like help, get the father out of the home. It's kind of similar to back in the 50s where they were convincing women like smoke is good for you. It's freedom. They convince you to do these things that are really bad, and really are enticing, just like with the apple, Adam and Eve and the apple. And it's also an old folklore too, where I think it was like the husband, like maybe caveman, maybe more caveman type times where the man was at home building up the homestead with the fences to keep the wife and kids safe, and then one day the husband goes off to hunt, and then a wolf comes up to the gate and talks to the wife. The wife's like, "No, I can't let you in." He's like, "Hey, come on, let me in." Like, no, I can't. My husband's here to protect me. And the wolf goes, you're in a prison. Those cages are up to keep you enslaved, to keep you oppressed. You need to put those fences
Mm.
down to, escape and get freedom. And the wife eventually, oh yeah, you're right. And she puts the fences down. The wolf comes in and kills her. And I think that's just a folklore. That's some sort of folklore, uh, story from a
It
while
makes
back.
sense though, because that's the
Yeah,
truth.
that's what happens. So whether it's once again those caveman times with a wolf, whether it's the smoking cigarettes, and now it's the abortion. They brainwashed you into smoking, and now it's boarding, and now I think just with the woke feminism of I don't need no man, leave me alone, and all that. How many women, black women especially, or girls, these young teen girls that are running away from home. They got this dude on. They met online and say all the right things, says all the right thing, and they could be grooming them, or maybe they know that they may be somebody. They be unintentionally and introduce them to somebody who can groom or take them away. But a lot of these black teen girls running away, or they may be going on the pole, or doing some OnlyFans stuff, or they meet an Andrew Tate type that's like, hey, you can make some good
Right,
money in the webcam. Come to my house,
right.
and they're disappearing every which way because they're not getting shown the way, and daddy ain't. So I know it's not a easy subject for a lot of us, but especially with the disproportionate amount of black women, that's a factor we got to discuss.
Yeah, let me read these statistics, and then if you want to
Mhm.
add, this would be it.
Yeah.
In 2022, 271,493 girls and women were reported missing. 97,924, or over 36%, were Black, despite the fact that Black women and girls uh, make up 14% of the U.S. female population at the time.
Mm. Yeah, there's a reason for the disproportionate. There are stereotypes for a reason. They say like, the whole, kind of the woke speak going on right now is I'm unapologetically black. Like no, you're stereotypically black. You
Right.
know, and it's just these sort of the culture and every how we're supposed to think a certain way and just the way people act. It's for a reason. And I think what people need to start realizing is that a lot of people's situations are just even with the state of Black America, we were put here by design. And I think there's an old quote like live a life by design or you'll live a life by
Hmm.
default. Live a life by design or somebody else will design it for you. And when we just have a passive, just kind of go with the flow or go with the culture or go with what's popular, what's worldly, this is where we end up. And like even things I've learned just working in business or corporate America. I think another good line, and once again you can apply this to our life, is like, even for like a small business owner, entrepreneur, when you treat your business casually, you will become a casualty. When you treat your business casually,
That's
you'll
a
become a
fact.
casualty. What it's like the
That's
stats,
a,
90% of businesses fail in the first 5 years. Well, that same thing can be applied to life and our choices. If we go through life casually, you will become a casualty. And it's just sad just how once again we're not having these hard conversations when it comes to the culture and the influence. And we end up with situations like this, like on our topic tonight, missing and exploited children. And how many maybe of these parents, I get it, everybody, I'm not a parent yet, so I can't speak on it. But just think about how many maybe those parents, they were just like, well, I just gotta do this and do that, and they're not, thinking about the long term. So I don't know. I don't want to harp and go on, but there's just a lot of ways we got to address this. Yes, we still got the elites out there, the Epstein's, the evil adrenochrome folks, but we also got to address some of the stuff in our own backyard too. And I yield.
okay. All right. Well, we're going to close that on out. Like, share, subscribe, hit that like button, and introduce your channel. This is conservative brother Uncomfy Truths, and I'm gonna put your channel in the
Yeah,
title.
please do it. I appreciate it. But I'm glad to be back. I think this is my second appearance
Yes,
on
it
the
is.
Dare Call It a Conspiracy. I'm conservative brother. I'm the co-host of Uncomfy Truths, Politics Talk. We've been hosting that over on our channel, Rumble, YouTube, and Odyssey for about the past 3 years. Just celebrate our 30th, not 30th, our third year going, 50 episodes. None Dare Call It Conspiracy has been a great help with kind of getting that off the ground. So yeah, follow us. We might be doing a show this Sunday. If we're able to get all three of us on. So we might be returning this
Okay.
Sunday, September 7th for episode 51. So stay tuned for that. And we'll be having some shorter form content dropping soon. So look out for that.
All righty then. Well, thank you so much. Ooh, that one came out bad. I appreciate your time and everything. I think
Mm-hmm.
I haven't figured out what else. Uh, see, I got to go back and take me time to pull up this information. So I don't know. I'm gonna do a celebrity probably. I know I'm gonna do a celebrity. So I'm thinking about doing.
Ready to do Bridget McCrone. Shoot, everything going
Oh,
on
I
now.
got I got her too. I got all her.
And
What can
is
be
fighting this
on?
lawsuit
I
now. And,
got it.
man, it's crazy.
Yeah,
But
Candace ain't
Mash
gonna
just
get out of this one.
The mask is coming off with
Nope, she is.
these
Yes, it
French
is.
deviants are going down. We gotta pray for
Mm-hmm.
Candace. You know, she fighting a battle.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
because the Macrons are straight Satanists. If you go back, and I urge you
mhm.
to look at this video, Son of Prediction at CERN, they were heads of royalty at that, and they were it was at CERN, and they were bringing in the Son of Prediction. It was a whole show. I was blown. It messed me up. It messed me up, but it's right there on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm
The,
sure it's right on topic too.
the
I'm sure the
Macrons
Macrones
were
got
right
something to do with
there.
them.
It
Hmm.
was heads of state around the world that were there. So these people do worship the Luciferian doctrine. Maybe I'll do the Biden crime family. I don't have to go that far.
They
And
got.
the
I'm
all
sure
those
the Macrones. I know they probably got something to do with a lot to do with missing and exploited children. I
oh,
mean,
absolutely.
Emmanuel Macron himself
He's evil.
was an exploited. Well, I know, but he was an exploited child as well. He got groomed by Bridget when she was like 40 and he was 15. And
Hmm.
I think also like a lot of these, Candace Owens does a great job of connecting the dots. With a lot of these kids were either exploited at an early age, or they went through the drama club. They like to go and do theater and get kind of like get radicalized as communists, and they're really big into drama and theater and doing acting and just being able to hone those acting sociopathic skills. So Emmanuel's no different. I mean, he got groomed as well. So he
Yes, he
is
did.
fortunately a victim at the core of it. But yeah, it's just a lot. Candace unpacks a lot. You know,
Okay, I'm gonna do something quick. I'm
Mm.
gonna do all those politicians selling their houses in DC. That's a quick one.
So you in this live and do that one, Star Guy.
Nope. I'm gonna do a separate one.
Uh, well, yeah. So you're gonna end this live.
Yep, and then I'm gonna bring this up. I just gotta yeah, I
All
won't
right,
have to go
all right.
back. Yep, I
Drop
think I'm
off.
gonna do that. And I gotta use the bathroom and all that kind. Like, share, subscribe, hit the like button. I appreciate y'all, and thank you to my new subscribers. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. And like I said, this channel is not just conspiracy theory. We hit all topics.
Oh
We're
yeah.
not, yeah, we hit everything. And
Yeah.
that's what we do. All right. Yeah. If you want to come back on that, that'll be a quick one.
Okay. Yeah, I
Yep.
gotta
Just
probably.
get probably about 50.
Yeah, I gotta
Okay.
get up.
All
But I
right.
will be back. I will be back as a reoccurring guest.
All right. Thank you for coming through. And I'm going to put your name. You know what? Before I get off, let me add your name right now.
Appreciate
Uh, Uncomfy. Uncomfy. Did I spell comfy? COMFY, right?
It's UN, yeah, COMFY. All right, I'm out.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
All right. All right. Just all right. Like, share, subscribe, hit the like button. I'm ending the stream now. Okay.